In this video, I want to show you how to quality control WordPress plugins before you install them on your site. Anyone can write and upload a plugin to the WordPress repository. There are submission guidelines. You'll find that they're more to do with licensing and being responsible for your code and all that kind of thing. There's nothing to do with how good or what kind of quality your code must have before you can submit it. Unfortunately, I've worked with many plugins that clash with themes or clash with other plugins and will bring a site down. So this will happen on occasion, but using the techniques I'm about to show you, hopefully you can check a plugin's quality before you install it and avoid any of those issues. So the first technique I would recommend is installing plugins from your WordPress dashboard rather than downloading them then installing them. The search feature on the dashboard excludes any plugins that are not up to date or are not being actively developed. That can help you to weed out any issues before you actually install them. So what I've done is I've done a search for contact form, and we're going to focus on contact form 7. This is a really good plugin. I'm in no way criticizing the quality of this code. It's just one I've used a lot and has lots of information to share. So the first thing I do is click on the more details. And what that does is give us an overview of this plugin. Gives us some information about it. Now, you get a snapshot of the information here, but what I prefer to do is go to the plugin page itself. That gives us a lot more information on this pop-up snapshot. The first thing I look at is when it was last updated. This plugin was updated 1 month ago. So that tells me it's been actively developed and it hasn't been abandoned by the plugin developer. You can see some plugins that haven't been updated in a year or sometimes 2 years, and they could contain outdated code that has vulnerabilities. Only install plugins that have been actively developed if you can. The next thing I look at is how or what level it's been tested up to. This has been tested up to 498. As I make this video, the latest download is 498 as well. So that tells me this has been tested up to the very latest version of WordPress. Any lower and you could potentially have issues if you install this. Also look at the required version of WordPress. If you are running an old version of WordPress, it could potentially cause you issues if you install this and the required version is higher than you currently have installed. Next, I'll move on to the rating system. So these are left by people who've installed the plugin. So you can see this plugin has lots of 5 stars, a couple of 4 and 3 stars, and some 1 and 2 stars. If it was all 5 stars, that would be a red flag to me. That suggests that the plugin author has asked his friends and families to log in and leave lots of false 5-star ratings. If it's full of 1 and 2 stars, again, that would be a red flag to me. It says that the plugin doesn't work very well if there's too many issues down here. So this is mostly 5 stars, so I'd say that's probably a good plugin. You can click through and see people's comments. That all seems to work very well. Don't just look at the 5 stars. So it's confusing to use. Worked great for years until now, so this user has an issue, some description. So do check out the stars. The majority should be up here, anything down here, and it's a problem. Next, I like to look at how actively supported the plugin is, which is this section here. Now this could potentially be a red flag to me. Only a quarter of the issues raised in the last 2 months have been resolved. I would hope it would be further up here. If it's a very well-used plugin, it could be that the plugin developers deluge with support requests. Let's have a look at the support forum. So what I'm looking for here is active responses. So if everything is 0, 0, 0, 0 down this column here, I would be worried. So as we go back a few days, you can see that they've all been addressed in some form. Click on a couple of the support requests, and what you're looking for is the plugin author actively engaged with the support forum. If the plugin author is not there, it suggests that you're not going to get great support for this plugin. So the plugin author wasn't there, but you can see members of the community, Neil Murray for example, is helping people out. So that's good to know other members of the WordPress community are helping people out on this plugin. It says they've used it a lot and they've had good experiences of it. Yes, this is just over a day old, nearly 2 days old, and it hasn't been replied to yet. It could be that the plugin developer is very, very busy and hasn't got time to catch up with these support requests. But a red flag is if the plugin developer never engages with the support forum. And finally, the last metric I like to look at is number of downloads. If a plugin is any good, it will organically get lots of downloads, 88 million in this case. So that tells me it's been used on a lot of sites, it's been tested, and it's probably a good plugin. If there's only half a dozen downloads, that means it's not very popular, hasn't been used a lot, hasn't been tested in the wild on a lot of WordPress sites. So just to reiterate, install from your dashboard, check out the plugin page. We're looking at last updated to make sure it's actively developed, and any vulnerabilities or bugs that are found will be fixed. Make sure it's tested up to the version of WordPress you're using. It has a decent number of ratings, not too many 1 or 2 stars. Support requests are being replied to and by the plugin developer. That is quite important. So as long as you know the plugin developer is actively engaged in support, you're going to get help if anything goes wrong. And look at the downloads. If it's only got 1 or 2 downloads, that should be a red flag to you. So hopefully that's been of some help for you. If you've got any questions, please get in touch. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.